Salvador, we were literally the murder capital of the world.
Yes.
And we turned it into the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. We're safer than any other country in the Western Hemisphere, which is, it was, if I would have said that 5 years ago, they would say that I was crazy, right?
Yes.
Because this was literally the most dangerous country in the whole world.
Your capital is now safer than our capital in Washington.
Yes.
A lot safer.
And the country is safer than the United States as a whole.
Yes.
The U.S. murder rate is around 6 murders per 100,000 inhabitants, and our murder rate is 2. So we're safer than Canada, safer than Chile, safer than Uruguay, safer than the U.S., safer than any country in the Western Hemisphere.
Your success says about the country that I live in or other countries in the hemisphere, we're in Europe, where people are killed by the thousands every year. And what you've proven with very little money and no help from anyone else is it's not that hard to fix. Therefore, all that killing must be a voluntary decision that my government and many other governments are making about their own citizens.
You can make that logical.
Well, I don't know what other conclusion to reach. If El Salvador can do it, what's going on here?
Yes, you can make that logical conclusion. I think that's probably what they are afraid of. Because, I mean, we don't have weapons of mass destruction, right?
No.
So why are they afraid? Why would they take so much time in make condemnations to El Salvador, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you didn't send a man to the moon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think they're afraid of the example. Because a lot of people might say, hey, we want that too. If they can do it with no money, with very few resources, and with a huge problem, because I heard some people say, oh, El Salvador could do it because the problem was not that big. I'm like, we're literally the murder capital of the world. How bigger can it get, right? We were literally the most dangerous place in the world, 3 times more dangerous than Haiti right now. So, I mean, how bigger can the problem get? And at the same time, we had very few resources, and we were able to do it with no civilian casualties. After we started the war on gangs, we had no civilian casualties, and we lost 8 between police officers and soldiers, and we basically eradicated all crime.
So this is the president of El Salvador, 43 years of age, a young revolutionary with a vision, who came in and transformed his own country. He literally took this country from the most dangerous country on the planet, in the whole world, from the murder capital of the whole world, into one of the safest countries in the world, safer than the United States of America, safer than Canada. Whereby the previous regime of El Salvador was enacting policies such as giving out drugs for free in the streets and legalizing shoplifting. All it took was a young leader with a vision for his own people and for his own country, with little to no resources, with no help, with no support. He managed to turn things around. In only 3 years, he managed to build one of the biggest, if not the biggest, prisons in the world, and the most safest and the most secure prison in the world, where it took decades and decades of the people of El Salvador being murdered, being killed every single day in the streets. All it took was one young man with a vision to transform his country, who was ready to serve his country, and he changed things. He managed to turn El Salvador from the most dangerous country in the world into one of the safest countries in the world in only 3 years. Well, someone might ask, why does this matter? Yes, it does matter. It is an example to the world that if we have leaders who are committed to solving the problems, especially in our continent of Africa, if our leaders were willing, if our leaders have the political will and the right ideas to solve our problems, we wouldn't have the problems that we have. And in fact, this serves as an example to show that it's not only Ibrahim Traore, there's somebody else across the world who is doing the same thing, who managed to transform their own country in an unprecedented way. And it must tell us as a people that we must not accept excuses from our leaders. If they are not solving our problems, if they do not have solutions to our problems, it simply means that they don't have the political will, or they don't have the competence in order to solve those problems. Therefore, they shouldn't be occupying the office. Wherever you are in the continent of Africa, whatever country you are from, be it from Zimbabwe, be it from Malawi, be it from the Congo, be it from Sudan, whatever problems that is there in your country, poverty, conflict, war, whatever that is, It only takes one leader with a vision who understands the problem and have the ideas and the political will to solve those problems. If our leaders are not solving those problems, then they are not fit to be in that position. We shouldn't be taking excuses from them. We should not accept excuses, and we should not accept them not delivering what they are supposed to be doing as leaders. We should demand accountability. We should not accept any excuses or any lies from these leaders. We need to wake up and start realizing that it's possible, it can be done. These are the few examples across the world that shows that it can be done. With political will and enough competency, it can be done.